Congratulations, you made it to your midweek snippet. Welcome to Sobriety Snippets for Women Over 40, where we change you first and your sobriety quietly follows. I'm Becca Jacobson, and you have landed in Snippet Land. Welcome back. If you're new here in Snippet Land, welcome home, my dear. You're in the right place if you're a woman over 40 who feels smart and capable, but stuck in an emotional loop with alcohol she can't quite explain. This is where we do it, gals. Today, I'm going to back up, slow down, and we're going to do a deep dive into what I call surface dwelling. This is a huge part of Snippet Land. I talk about it all the time, and it's the one thing we want to get because it's the one thing that can change everything for us. So today we're going to talk about what it is, why I talk about it so much, what it exactly looks like, the different ways it shows up in your world, and what you can do about it. And one of the things that sparked this, gals, is I have a brand new website, beccajacobson.com. It's not rocket science. I know you can find that. But guess what I did? On the website, I created for you a surface dwelling quiz. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited, and I want you to take the quiz. So today, let's talk about what surface dwelling is, how you can recognize it in your world, what you can do about it, and you can also, right after the snippet, go over to the website, do the quiz, and get your own personal results. The quiz consists of 7 simple multiple choice questions, and once you submit your answers, I'm going to send you a written document through your inbox that's going to show you how to take your first steps out of surface dwelling, depending on where you're at, depending on how you answered the questions. So, gals, go check out the surface dwelling quiz at beccajacobson.com. But don't go yet. Wait, hold on. I can see you all getting up and leaving. Hold on. You in the back, sit down, take a breath. Let's do this snippet first. I'm excited too, but let's take a breath. All right, surface dwelling. You know, it sounds kind of self-explanatory, but this is actually a pretty complicated thing once we start looking at it more deeply and really thinking about what it means. And one of the problems with our current society in which we live is it's even easier to surface dwell. So, what is surface dwelling? Well, simply gathering information and never taking action. That's the straightforward surface level definition of surface dwelling, just constantly gathering information and not taking action on any of it. Now, look, gals, let's go easy on ourselves here. All humans do this, right? It's not just us, but to us, it's deadly. For us, we cannot afford it. And one of the things we do with it is we gather information on alcohol, and then we soon run out of energy for that. We get kind of bored with it. We read the quit lit. And this isn't just reading, it's podcasting, it's whatever, it's scrolling, information, wherever your information comes from. We start by trying to learn as much as we can about alcohol and what it does to our body. Makes sense, right? Hello, why not? But from there, we might get sick of that. And then we start looking at health. We learn about eating. We learn about exercise. Then we find out, oh, what's this nervous system? Let me find out how to settle. Let me learn all about the old vagus nerve and how do I settle my nervous system? And then we see, oh, well, wait, what is this meditation I've heard of? Let me find out. And on she goes. Gals, there comes a point in time where we have to stop. When we're struggling with alcohol, this type of behavior is a huge trap. And the reason it's a trap is that it feels like we're doing something productive. And in the beginning, I guess we are. And if we're going to start something, let's say you genuinely want to learn to meditate. Well, of course, you'd want to start with information, but you want to be limited. You want to find the information that makes sense to you and then put down the book or whatever and sit your ass down and meditate, right? Practice what you've learned. This is where we fall short. And that was just an example. So let me slow down and back up. About the alcohol surface dwelling, I want you to know something about that. No amount of information, no amount of education or knowledge on alcohol and its effects on your body or your psyche or your relationships, no amount of that information will get you sober. It just won't. You know, the warnings they put on cigarette packages, they put warnings. That doesn't stop people from smoking. If you're addicted to cigarettes, it doesn't matter what the label says. And the same is true for alcohol. Sure, go find out. We know it's hard on the liver. Got it. Yeah, I know it's bad for me. That's all you need to know. And once you've done the research, stop, my dear. Stop, because that won't get you sober. It won't get you alcohol free. And the same is true, of course, we could read 1,000 books on exercise, but we got to get up and go do, right? You get my point. You're no dummy. But when it comes to alcohol, surface dwelling makes us feel, well, at least I'm doing something. I'm listening to this show. By the way, the one thing you do need is your snippets. You knew I was going to say that, right? Come on, it's only 10 minutes 3 times a week. Your snippets don't count as surface dwelling. Why? Because I'm constantly telling you not to surface dwell, and I'm constantly teaching you how to take action instead of digging in deeper and deeper and deeper into topics such as what alcohol is doing to your liver and what it's not about that. The purpose of the snippets and the reason they're short and only 3 times a week is so that you can get inspiration in the time it takes you to drive over to the store and back and then get up and take action. So you're not allowed to skip your snippet. Yes, I saw that look. Come on. I know you don't want to anyway, because snippets are so powerful and they will keep you from surface dwelling. Okay. So we get to exclude ourselves from this. And I do it absolutely with no sense of guilt whatsoever. Okay. Let's get back to surface dwelling. So now we have a really clear idea of what it looks like to surface dwell. And the reason I said that it's even more difficult now is pretty obvious, isn't it? Information's everywhere. It's right there in your pocket. We know those little screens. This is a huge issue for most people in this day and age because of the screen, it's right there in your hand. And we spend way too much time on that screen. And while we're on it, that is what we're doing. We're surface dwelling. Every moment we're looking at it as opposed to taking action is us not moving forward on our journey. So we really have to be doubly aware and doubly willing to fight back against the urge to constantly consume information. Now, listen, I get it. Wanting to give up alcohol is hard, and it's a really nice feeling to feel like you're taking action. Well, I'm doing something about it, but you're not, my dear. So today I'm really going to ask you to be honest with yourself. Gathering information is not doing something about it. And you probably passed the point of usefulness a long time ago. Like I say, we need a little bit of information, but there's a limit, right? And so today, I would really love it if you would just take a few minutes and ask yourself honestly, do I need more information or action in my life? Because if there's a voice saying to you, you are doing something about your drinking, you're learning, and you might not even consciously say that to yourself. But if you have that feeling, I want you to know that that is the voice of alcohol lying to you. Yeah, keep reading. Yeah, keep doing that. Yeah, do that. And one day you'll be ready to quit drinking. Not going to happen. And by the way, readiness is what we're going to talk about on Friday. I've got a lot more information about readiness to share with you on Friday. So I'm really excited about that. Now, the next thing we need to talk about concerning surface dwelling is how to stop. Specifically, what can you do when you have a big fat head full of, well, maybe a hangover, but also information, right? You got a double fat head. You okay, I'm getting silly. When we are bloated with information, it's hard to actually know what action to take. Then we're sitting there and the head's spinning. It's like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. What action do I need to take? And this is a question I ask the gals in my world, the ones that actually come to my group coaching, the gals who get one-on-one mentorship with me. I'm constantly asking the question, what are you working on right now? What are you working on right now? Now, by that, I don't mean you've undertaken a PhD. All I mean is what 5 minute a day minimum, 5 minutes is enough, practice are you doing right now? What are you practicing in your world so that you can find out whether it's helpful or not to you and whether it is your practice? In order to overcome surface dwelling, it's actually quite simple, but we have to make some choices and some decisions. And it does take a little bit of self discipline, which is another reason we don't want to be doing this alone. When I'm in a room with a bunch of gals and I ask them that question, it's so much easier to see I'm not alone. Others are doing this. We can hear what others are trying. We can share what we've tried. We might get ideas that we never thought of. And the point is that each and every individual in there is doing her best to take action instead of surface dwell. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not uncommon to show up at a meeting and the answer to that question is, well, the truth is, Becca, nothing. I haven't done anything this week. And that's okay. At least we see that and then we get re inspired to try again. There is no perfection in Snippet Land. In fact, Snippet Land is where we live the mess together. And that's what I love about it. There's no counting days and falling down and getting up full of shame. There's none of that. What we do here in Snippet Land is navigate the mess, learn the strategies, and help each other when we're wobbly, because we are wobbly in the beginning. Or, as I've said before, we stumble into sobriety. It's a messy journey. And when we're together and we're seeing others stumbling, others who are wobbly, it's okay. We're like, oh, that's normal. I'm okay with that. And what a feeling that is. So, if you want to stop surface dwelling today or start getting a little more honest with yourself, there are two things you can do. First, in a moment, when I end this snippet, you can go to beccajacobson.com/quiz, beccajacobson.com/quiz, and take the surface dwelling quiz. When you do, you're going to get an immediate feedback. So here's how the quiz works. Depending on how you answer the questions, there are 7 categories you can fall into. And of these 7 categories, you're going to probably have a little bit of each, but we want to find out your main category, how you're actually approaching surface dwelling. And the categories are things like some of us are looking for validation, some of us are focused on performance, others on pleasantness, some of us on control, some on numbing, hello, and information. So you're going to find out what type of surface dweller you are, and that's immediate. As soon as you take that 7th multiple choice question and tap the button, you'll get your feedback. But you'll also get a written response to your inbox. So 2 goodies. But not only that, you're going to also get a practice you can try this week. And it's right there, immediate and instant. It's a 5-minute deal. I would love for you to try that practice. It's really sweet. So, what are we waiting for? I built this so I can help you go from listening to me talk about surface dwelling to actually taking action. So, okay, everybody got that? beccajacobson.com/quiz. Super simple. All right, so that's going to help you get started today on not surface dwelling. And the second thing you can do, if you really are tired of trying to figure this out alone and you want to see what it's like to have me in a room asking you, what are you working towards? Today would be a great day to join us in the Fresh Start experience. This is a weekly online call we do together on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And in between, we're together in a chat. And this is where the gals are helping each other stumble through the messy, messy beginning of alcohol-free living. And it is absolutely beautiful. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back next time so I can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.
The modern man is fascinating. He has a standing desk. He takes creatine. He listens to podcasts at 2 times the speed. He owns 3 water bottles and he follows 6 productivity influencers. Then every weekend, he drinks enough alcohol to tranquilize a rhinoceros. If any of this sounds familiar, I'm Shane Raymer, host of That Sober Guy podcast. We talk performance, we talk purpose, we talk leadership, and we talk about building a better life without alcohol. Because the answer isn't another life hack. It's removing the thing that's holding you back. Search That Sober Guy wherever you get your podcasts.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.